What the heck is up, you guys? It's your boy Ace, aka Animated Heroes, here back with another action figure review. Today we're going to be taking a look at none other than the SH Figuarts Monkey D. Luffy. And this right here is going to be a very special and nostalgic review for me. I am super excited for this one. So let's go ahead and take a look, starting off with the sexy packaging. Now for the box, as you guys can see, it's kind of built like a map around the top where you can see the whites. I'm not sure how well it's picking up on camera, but I think that's a very creative choice. I wish it was kind of brown like the theme images for the original One Piece figures. I just thought that that was so dope, and I'll show an image so you guys know what I'm talking about. But you got the window where you can see the figure as well as some of the accessories. You got some images along the side here. It does say Tamashii Nation's Bandai at the bottom. You got a Toei sticker right there, Tamashii Nation's quality sticker of approval, Monkey D. Luffy, and I love these expressions a whole lot, man, whole lot. Another one at the bottom. I don't really care much for this one, but I've heard that it'll possibly grow on me like the more I mess with it, so we'll see. We've got him in a pose right there, and then here we've got him in several different poses showing off some of the accessories as well, and then a bunch of stuff at the bottom I cannot read because I imported this figure. If you want to know where I picked this up, I got it from Amazon Japan. I wasn't able to secure a pre-order on AmiAmi. I don't know if it's still in stock, but you guys can go look. Anyway, let's go ahead and bust this guy out of the packaging because this is one I am extremely ready for. Now, straight out of the packaging, I'm going to tell you guys right now, there's going to be a bunch of nostalgia in this review, just because if you guys don't know, my very first SH Figuarts was the original SH Figuarts Luffy. At the time, I was currently 19 and I was watching One Piece, and it really pulled me out of a dark space that I was in at the time, and it also got me back into anime. So Luffy is just a character that really holds a special place in my heart. Him and all of the Straw Hats. I just remember binge watching One Piece every single day, catching up to the New World arc in, I think, maybe 3 or 4 weeks. Like, it was very quick, and so I love this already. And with Tamashii Nation's figures already being so much better than what they used to be, it's just gonna make me love this thing even more, man. There is just so much enthusiasm radiating off of me just having this figure in front of me. And I don't want to turn this into a long rambling, but I want you guys to understand how I feel having this in hand. I'm just so excited right now, and this thing looks so damn good. And I don't care what anyone says, currently Luffy is the GOAT protagonist out of all ongoing anime. You can say whoever you want, but right now with the airing of Gear 5, it's Luffy. You cannot tell me otherwise. I don't care who you say. Luffy is him, bro. That's all there is to it. Now, to stop the rambling, let's go ahead and take a closer look at this figure so that we can examine the details. Now, taking a look at this guy up close, this is very clearly Luffy from the Wano arc, which is basically where he and the Straw Hat Pirates are going up against Kaido and Big Mom, which is currently taking place in the anime. I believe it's approaching its finale, but I feel like most people probably wanted the New World look for Luffy, but at this point, it's very clear Tamashii Nations are going with the current arc versions of their figures, which is fine with me because this still looks really good. And honestly, at some point we're obviously going to get a repaint of this Luffy for his New World look with different expressions and such, so that's okay with me. It's the main character, and Tamashii Nations is known for re-releasing them anyway, especially when they're general releases like this guy was instead of being a web exclusive. Now, the faceplate on this guy for his angry look looks absolutely outstanding to me. This is so much better than the original release. I love how they got the scar underneath the eyes. Just The straw hat looks really freaking dope, man. I love all of the extra sculpting and detail in there. There's a lot. It could have used some shading maybe around the rim of the hat, but that's not too bad. I love the wrinkles for the clothing and everything. It also looks really dang good. The scar on the chest, I love how they incorporated the articulation here. It looks really good. It's not that bad. I think the scar should be a little bit wider, but I mean, it just depends on the art style and who drew it at the time, so I'm not gonna say it's inaccurate. I love the little sash piece he's got right here. Love the fact that it also rotates, and it will pop off apparently, but as you guys can see, you just pop it right back on there. So there we go. The pants look very good. I've heard some issues about the knee, so let's see what's up with that. Oh yeah, they don't move very far at all. Oof. Yeah, they do not bend very far. So that kind of sucks. I wish they would have did kind of like the variable action heroes version and sculpted around that. That would, wait a minute, there's holes right here. I wonder, nah, it doesn't seem like this rotates any. Interesting. I don't know, maybe that's just a design choice, but it kind of feels like this piece right here could like lift up and move around, but guess not. Anyway, all the way down to the sandals, man. Even the feet are sculpted very well, and no, I'm not just staring at his foot, but yeah, they did a really good job with this, man. I like this a whole lot. This is dope. This is a very solid figure so far. Other than the knees, I don't really care for that, but just the overall look and everything, I'm all for this. Moving on to his height, to the top of his head, he's right at about 5.5 inches. To the top of his hat, he's about 6.25. So I think he fits in scale just fine. Luffy is supposed to be a bit of a smaller character, so the fact that he doesn't reach that 6-inch mark is perfectly fine with me. But of course, we'll see how he scales with other figures later on in the review. Moving on to the articulation, in certain areas things can be a little tricky, so I'm going to try to cover everything. First thing I want to show though is the hat. Since I didn't mention it earlier, the hat kind of sticks to this head right here. He does have an alternate hairpiece, which I'll show in a sec, but once you peg it on there, it's not going anywhere. So as you guys can see, it's staying on it. But yeah, the head looks up about that much, which I think is good. Looks down very, very well. Neck movement, just perfect. You couldn't really ask for better. Now, when it comes to the arms, I do want to mention this because I had this problem. They were very stiff right out of the packaging. I heard plastic squeaking like crazy. So if you see any shine, it's because I had to add that shock oil. But they move around well enough. He can punch up and out very far. This one's not wanting to go. I think it's because of this plastic right here. There we go. Goes up and out about that much, so not too bad. They do come in. You just have to rotate the pegs properly. The engineering is a bit weird on there. I don't think there's an actual butterfly joint. I think it's just the engineering system. Again, if you see that shine, it's because I had to add shock oil. He does have a bicep swivel, double jointed elbows that work extremely well. So if you want to get him in those punching poses, that's not going to be a problem. So that is dope. The hands are on a ball peg, or more like a ball hinge, actually. That's an interesting design choice. I don't think I've seen that one before, but I dig it. They move around very well. You don't really have any hindrance whatsoever. At the diaphragm here, you guys see it. He moves just fine. Leans back very well. Not so much forward, but that's going to come out of the lower half. So if you want to get Luffy in those leaning forward, gear second poses, that's not going to be a problem. There's a bit of squeaking. You guys hear it, but I think it's because I just pulled this guy out of the package. So yeah, he does have a swivel right here. I'm definitely going to have to apply shock oil to that. This does move around. I'm actually going to take this off. At first, I thought that he didn't have a thigh swivel, but it was because of the fact that this torso piece was pushed forward down a little too much. But the legs go out about that much, which is very far. He does have a swivel in there. You just have to move the top half out of the way. If you do it the wrong way, this is going to pop off. Yes, I did that on purpose to show you guys. Now it's going to be difficult to put it back on, but I wanted you to see it. There it is. But yeah, that swivel is in there. It's just kind of hard to mess with, and now it's not wanting to show because I'm on camera. So let's see if I can back up a bit and then try it one more time. So apparently I was wrong. I thought that earlier I was able to get some thigh swivel up here, but you actually don't. They incorporated the thigh articulation very weird. But first let's show the legs. They kick forward about that much, which isn't bad at all. Again, he does the splits about this much. And when it comes to the leg swivel, it actually happens under the shorts. So they swivel around under here, and you can actually pull this off. And there's a whole lot of squeaking, so I really need to apply some more shock oil. But that's the engineering system that you get for that. It just pegs back on, and then there you go. That's where your swivel's going to come from. Didn't peg it in all the way, I don't think. But single jointed knee, sadly you're not gonna get any more than that, which kind of sucks. Again, I wish they would have sculpted this like the variable action heroes so that you could get more range, but oh well, what can you do about it? Foot goes down about that much, up about that much, and the sandal does pop off. He does have a toe hinge and really good ankle rocker. So for the most part, the articulation is decent, but I will say there are some parts that can get very frustrating. This is a figure you're going to have to pose around and get used to. It's not as easy to maneuver as other SH Figuarts. That doesn't make it bad, but in certain places it is very limited. Moving on to accessories, this is where things get kind of with this figure because it feels like it's so much that was left out, and I'll touch more on that in just a second. First off, he comes with a neutral head sculpt and a pair of fist hands right out of the packaging. He comes with a teeth gritted angry face that have the eyes whited out. As you guys know, this is common in One Piece whenever the heroes or villains get angry during an attack pose. He comes with his signature grin. This one has the mouth open just a bit, and I will say this does look better in person than it does in photos. It's still not my favorite, but it's not bad. I think more people do still prefer the one that comes with Yamato, which is exactly why they included it with her, because they want you guys to buy it. Now, he also comes with this like geeked out facial expression, another trope that is common in One Piece. It's not meant to be looked at forward. That's when it kind of looks weird. But when you turn it sideways, this right here is in literally a million different One Piece panels. And I hope that every One Piece character comes with this, especially characters like Usopp, Chopper. It'd be dope to get it with Robin because they do make these crazy expressions a lot. I'm so glad that Tamashii Nation included this. He does come with an alternate hairpiece. This is actually two pieces. I just went ahead and combined them. This is for when he has the hat off. Unfortunately, he doesn't come with an accessory to where you can put the hat around the neck. I don't know why they skipped out on that. That would have been really dope to throw in. And then he does come with an alternate hairpiece for the back of the neck. This is just basically that extra piece that they add in on a lot of their figures with hair. So yeah. Then he does come with, I believe these are gear second hands, maybe gear third, I'm not entirely sure, but basically when he does this, that means somebody is about to catch a really hard punch. So yeah, be ready for that. And then he comes with a pair of hands for holding on to the top of his hat, and that's all you get with this guy. Not a whole lot of accessories. I really wish I knew they weren't going to do any gum accessories to where he's stretching out his limbs, but I at least thought that they would have threw in like maybe some hotkey effects like they did with the I forgot, I think the Bandai Spirits version. It would have been so cool to throw those in. I don't know why they didn't, man. Some black hands and interchangeable black arms would have been really dope, even black legs, but they skipped out completely. Now, from what we're seeing, this Luffy is going to be a Build-A-Figure. He gets a facial expression with Zoro. He gets an extra facial expression with Sanji. Also an extra facial expression with Yamato. I wouldn't be surprised if we get another one with Kaido. And then maybe in the future we'll get some attacking accessories. But right now we don't really get anything. And man, that sucks a lot. I really wish they would have thrown in more, but he's a cheap figure, so beggars can't be choosers, I guess. Now moving on to some size comparisons, here are the big three standing side by side, as well as Goku. But we got the SH Figuarts Naruto Uzumaki from the revived Naruto line, the SH Figuarts Ichigo Kurosaki from Bleach, and then we got a Dragon Ball CGI Goku. But we got Naruto, Ichigo, and Luffy looking so dope together, man. And I threw in Goku because I know that some Dragon Ball fans were going to want to see him. Actually, I was really going to put Yuji, but it is what it is. Here they are together, these three looking so dope, man. This makes me really happy. Next up, here he is standing next to some more SH Figuarts protagonists. We have him standing next to the SH Figuarts Street Fighter V Ryu, the SH Figuarts Chainsaw Man Denji, or just Chainsaw Man. And of course, we have him standing next to an SH Figuarts Jujutsu Kaisen Greatness, Yuji Itadori, all of them looking great together. Moving on to some Figma comparisons, here he is standing next to a Figma Jujutsu Kaisen Greatness Honored One, Satoru freaking Gojo. We have standing next to a Figma Kimetsu no Yaiba or Demon Slayer Tanjiro, and of course the Figma Boku no Hero Academia or My Hero Academia Deku. Last but not least, for some other lines, here he is standing next to a Metacom Toy or Mafex Batman Hush Nightwing, a Marvel Legends Amazing Fantasy Spider-Man, and a Jax Pacific Super Sonic. Now when it comes to my final thoughts for this figure, there's some good, some bad, and there's some ugly, depending on you. Nothing ugly in terms of engineering and how the figure looks. Of course, Tamashii Nation's figures are all starting to look like they walked right out of the anime as they're supposed to, so I don't ever really have any issues design-wise. But when it comes to the articulation and the accessories on this guy, there are some problems with each, and I'll start off talking about the articulation. Now, this figure is very tricky to mess with in comparison to other SH Figuarts, more specifically around the leg areas. The arms you can get used to pretty fast. Despite there not being a butterfly joint, you're still able to engineer the upper half of this figure pretty much the way that you want to, but once it gets to the legs, things get strange because there's no actual thigh swivel for one, and it looks like there is. The design shows that there possibly could have been one, but maybe it's just how baggy the upper part of the shorts are. Maybe that prevented them from being able to incorporate it, and so they decided to do it at the thigh underneath the shorts. That's what I'm guessing, but even still, it kind of pops off a lot, and that sucks because it also pops off at the upper part of the thigh where you would imagine the thigh cut to be for the actual thigh articulation or swivel. And so the fact that I added shock oil actually makes it a bit worse, but there was nothing I could do because of the fact that it was very squeaky. I had to apply that shock oil, and so anytime I'm moving the legs around, they're popping off of mine. Now, hopefully you guys don't have that issue with squeaky joints, but I'm just letting you guys know just in case because it can be a problem. And also the single jointed knees and how they did the articulation at the knee. The more you move this guy around, you kind of want to be able to get him in more dynamic poses, and I feel like if they would have cut that back piece of the shorts off, you would have been able to do it. Instead, it just kind of looks like they had the idea to do it, but they didn't actually follow through with the execution of it. I don't know why, but you can see it was there where they were probably like, okay, let's cut this part off and add this articulation, and so it tricks you into thinking you can do something that you actually can't. Maybe that's just how my mind works, so I'm not gonna say that in terms of speaking for everyone. It's just me. I've had several Luffy figures and I'm just used to them being able to bend better at the knee. Other than that, he articulates fine, but the leg articulation could be better. Now, moving on to the accessories, I'm going to try not to talk too much about this because I'm already at 3 minutes, but I feel like there's more they could have thrown in, not necessarily in terms of facial expression since we're getting a few with other figures, but maybe more hands, showcasing at least him using his hockey attacks. We could have got a flaming fist for the Red Hawk or something like that. I'm not expecting any rocket punch or Gatling or anything like that because it's just too much to throw in with a $30 figure. But still, there was more they could have done. And Also, going back to articulation, because I forgot this, I'm kind of reading off of notes now for the first time ever. You can't really get him into the gear second pose because of the way the legs work. And so, yeah, there are some limitations here in terms of accessories and articulation. And so, is it a perfect figure? Definitely not. Will it make my top 10 of the year? I highly doubt it, but he might make like runner-up or something like that, just because I'm still happy to have this in my collection, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what they're going to do with the One Piece line from here on out. I do hope that they see some of the complaints and that they really up the engineering on their future One Piece figures, because I want this line to be just as good as the Naruto line, the Jujutsu Kaisen line, and even the Dragon Ball line. Like, I want this to take off. One Piece is a popular anime and it deserves all the love. Do I recommend this figure? Definitely. Now anyway, I'm harping on it too much. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. If so, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. That always helps me out. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Make sure to hit that bell icon to be notified whenever I upload new content. And last but not least, follow me on everything you see listed in the description below to keep up with my activity outside of YouTube. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Stay safe wherever you are, and bye.